Charity shout out. It should be shouting out to getting you a life. I ain't got time for this. I got an underground gambling ring to take care of. Not to mention all those hot Nintendo Switches I'm gonna sell on eBay that fell off a truck. You ain't hear that from me. All right, man. Peace, loser.
Yeah, that's right. You better run.
What you say, punk?
Nothing.
Watch yourself. Oh, and by the way, call me when you do Smurfs to Lost Village review. I'll be right there for you, critic. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Chain chop yelp. You punk ass motherfucker.
Well, I'll show him who's got a life. I'm reviewing Smurfs too. The film opens with Smurfology. Isn't that the church Tom Cruise belongs to?
The evil wizard Gargamel was concocting a diabolical plan.
Definitely the same church. As the narrator gives the backstory of how their only female, Smurfette, entered their group as a creation of Gargamel to infiltrate them.
Papa saw the good in her. He turned her into a true blue Smurf.
What did he do to her in there? Is it the same treatment Link gets when he goes into that woman's house to regain life? Because if so, this would be more than a PG. But it seems like she still may have a little bit of evil in her.
She's got a dragon wand!
Oh, it was all just a bad movie.
Smurfette, are you okay?
I heard you from my peeking perch outside your window.
There. Everything's going to be fine.
Now I'm sure you were going to take a shower or something, so why don't you get to that?
Gargamania, the magical sensation that has captivated the nation.
The movie kindly reminds us that Entertainment Tonight is still on TV, and that Gargamel uses what little magic he has left to become a famous magician. This displeases his bad Meow Mix commercial. I mean Pet Cat.
Get it.
Father's going to love this!
I just want to play!
These two characters are Vexy and Hackus, played by Christina Ricci and JB Smoove. I'm introducing them to you because the movie forgot. We didn't see them made, we know nothing about them. We're just stuck with these two characters that never ever got an introduction. Don't you hate it when that happens, Bill? That is so Bill. But there's big trouble brewing down at Smurf Village. Like Smurfette thinks everyone forgot her birthday, when really there's a surprise party being planned. Shit's getting real!
Occasionally, it's good to have a little alone time.
Yeah, so take a hike. Yeah, we don't need you here. We're good.
So, no one remembered my birthday?
Okay, there's like 1 billion of you, and nobody invented Facebook yet. I think this would be quite common. Also, you nearly wiped out their village. You're lucky they didn't burn you like a Kentucky Fried Joan of Arc, and you're bitching that they forgot your birthday? If blue privilege was a thing, you'd be the Violet Beauregard of it. Happy birthday, dear Blue. Speaking of Blue, that's the cruel name given by parents Neil Patrick Harris and Jayma Mays, celebrating his birthday with the arrival of Harris's stepdad. But Harris hates him because he's reasonably nice.
You must all be his friends, which makes you my friends. You're all getting hugs.
Hey!
You'll want him to leave. Just wait.
I don't like this at all! There's nothing like the embraces of two proud Doyle men.
I am not a Doyle man.
No, you're the rough draft of Niles Crane. Regardless, we had to hate each other for some reason, and I still don't really see a reason.
I'm going to present each and every one of you with a free corn dog.
Oh no, he accidentally gave someone allergic to peanuts a peanut product. Okay, now he's a bastard. We sympathize with Harris.
He shows up and he ruins things. That's what he does.
You hand out treats, hugs, and compliments in hell where they belong. So Gargamel says he wants to kidnap Smurfette to figure out how he can make Blue Smurf so he can steal their magical essence to take over the world.
And then the entire world shall bow before me.
Huh, that seemed like kind of a leap there. It used to be he wanted to eat them, then he wanted to turn them into gold, then he wanted to increase his magic, now he wants to conquer the world. Jesus, he's gonna run out of things he wants to do soon.
The entire world shall bow before me.
And after that, I'll take up skydiving. I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go. So he opens a doorway to Smurf Village through, I bet you've never seen this, a portal in the sky. I've literally done so many of these jokes, I have a punch card for a free sub. Oh, thank you. And he sends Vexy to kidnap Smurfette. Another sign of high-paid writing there. And then she says, "So long!" Not bad for someone to just learn how to talk!
My powers of deduction lead me to believe that this is the work of Gargamel!
Yeah, who else would it be? You've shown no other characters or parts of your world. So while Papa assembles a team to go and save her, Harris is dealing with real troubles of his own. Like his stepdad wants to put a crown on the birthday boy. What?
You didn't bring the crown. Don't put the crown on him.
This is the way you do it, look.
Do you see what is going on out there? Oh yeah, he's a terrific role model.
Well, this is inexcusable. What kind of monster would do such a thing? Hey Tamara, what's wrong with you?
Well, after being estranged from my drunk, abusive grandpa for years, he calls me up today and tells me that even at birth, he didn't consider me part of the family.
Oh, come on, that's nothing. This grandparent gave his grandchild a paper hat. A paper hat! So we also find out that he also gave away Harris's bird when he was younger because the stepdad was allergic.
When my dad took off, he left Zeus, and I love that bird.
Well, all the more reason to hate the bastard. Worst authority figure ever! But the portal opens up and the Smurfs return to take credibility away from Harris once more. Welcome to hell. This is exactly what awaits you in the fiery pit. It's just this on a non-stop loop.
Clumsy, is that you? I'm blind!
Oh, who am I kidding? Any part of this movie would be playing in hell.
What are you guys doing here?
Smurfette's been taken.
Wait, what?
What do you mean taken?
What other way can you interpret that? You got cast in a Liam Neeson movie. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'll call the dog sitter, you get Blue's passport.
So Harris and his family agreed to help them by going to France to find out where Gargamel is performing. And... Bill!
Bill, I didn't know you were here.
Mm-hmm.
God, seeing you again makes me realize I should forgive him for the bad things he said.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad we have this detailed history together.
Mm-hmm.
God, that is so Bill! Jayma tries to find out what room Gargamel is in, but the hotel won't let her. But she dresses up like Audrey Hepburn, so they will tell her.
No one wants to be on the
5th floor.
Oh boy.
I'm just astonished there's a Breakfast at Tiffany's homage and yet no Mickey Rooney dress up. Imagine how that would have gone. Oh hell no, I'm not doing a sketch on that. I want to keep this channel.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Blue's performance in this is... Well, he's a kid, so how do I put it lightly? He's the worst thing I've ever seen. After every moment, you'd swear he screams, "Yay, I said a line!"
Hi, Daddy. Smurf, Smurf, Smurf. Daddy always loses. Yeah. Are you an angel?
Oh, sorry, that was Jake Lloyd, but it was hard to tell the difference, wasn't it? Gargamel uses his magic to turn Harris's father into a duck and fling Harris around the room.
Daddy, quiet! Daddy, quiet!
You're not acting! You're not acting!
Stop fooling around, yes? Open wide as yet.
No, throw the kid in there! That'll be more than worth the price of admission.
Put him down!
Affleck, motherfucker!
What are you so cross about?
You always barge in and ruin everything. You're like a walking disaster.
You know, I really hope someone was just channel surfing and came across this scene. I would love for them to rationalize what's going on.
I'm pleased. Yes, for
Look me in the eyes and say that.
I can't.
That's right, because it's not.
And yes, by the way, a good chunk of this movie, we had to deal with the stepdad as a duck.
Grandpa Victor's a duck.
Okay, I need to know if you fit in a blender. What makes the scene even stranger is that he's got a little black stripe on his beak, so it looks like we're listening to Hitler Duck. I do not want to listen to Hitler Duck. No wonder the cartoon that preceded it was this. This, of course, just adds to Harris's anger of his stepdad.
I'm gonna strangle that duck. Vic's like a black cloud that follows me around.
He shows up.
Whether you want him to or not.
A lot of fathers don't even do that.
He's not my father.
Need I remind you, paper hats and being allergic to birds? Devil!
Hurry up. Whoa!
Look, Daddy!
Oh my god, every time that kid talks, cancer gets a little stronger. But that doesn't stop his stepdad from coming anyway and getting caught by the chefs.
Oh yeah, it starts with the ducks, and soon no one's safe.
Really? Duck Hitler just made that joke. What's next, Heil Flipper? The literal goose step? It looks like Smurfette is getting more friendly with Vixie, but unfortunately they already used their I kissed a Smurf joke in the last movie.
I'm sorry Papa Smurf didn't come for you.
And I'm sorry you were in that darn cat.
Maybe your place is here. With us.
Yeah. Maybe it is.
Yes, after being here less than a day and most of that day being used to torture you, clearly this is where you belong.
Why is she being nice to them?
She's just identifying with their captors.
No, she thinks we don't care anymore.
Maybe it has something to do with us acting like we didn't care anymore. Yeah, if you knew her sensitivity was so great, like she clearly said here.
They know how tough my birthday can be.
Why would you be stupid enough to fake her out? Isn't that like half the day telling someone how much you hate them and then at the last minute just saying, kidding, love you? Then again, maybe that would work, seeing how she suddenly thinks Gargamel is a caring father, simply because he gives her a gift.
Mal, Neil.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but I am gonna freeze frame here. Do as you will, Internet. It's the Smurfs, nobody will fault you. Smurfette also seems to get her first taste of real power when Gargamel gives her a tiny magic wand.
How do you know I won't use it on you?
Because, Smurfette, I am your father. Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Well, at least he didn't do that. I have to admit, I do kind of like seeing her go a little sadistic now that she can.
Sing the La-La song.
Sing it! And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
She seems to enjoy doing evil, especially when it's inconsistent, like not breaking mirror glass but breaking window glass, as the Smurfs are launched out while Harris saves his stepdad.
Take to the skies, lads! Free at last! Free at last!
What are you, Martin Luther Wing?
But that wasn't Star Wars related.
It just feels good, okay?
Harris's dad catches the falling Smurfs just before he turns back into a human.
Where's Smurfette?
Too late.
Nice going.
You are Satan's anus with Klansman mustard! How dare you save the Smurfs from a falling building! Actually, I would hate him too.
What's up, everybody? Walter Benezek here from Awesome Comics, and I'm here with...
I gotta wait.
And...
Brian Porter.
And this week we're talking about Game of Thrones Season 6. Is it the best season yet? We're gonna answer that question on Awesome Comics this week, so go ahead and check out that episode.
So it's revealed that all of Harris's anger towards his stepdad was for nothing. Oh, not because Harris was being a total heartless dick, but because the bird that was taken away from him as a kid wasn't because the stepdad was allergic, but because Harris was allergic.
Your mother and I both knew that it'd break your heart to think the bird had to go away because of you. Sniff my feathers. Truth itches, doesn't it?
Well, that changes what was obviously a legit reason to hate a parent. Why, that's almost as dumb as hating your family because they forgot to throw you a birthday party.
Grandpa Victor?
What do you think was the first take? I mean, if they always have to use the best take for the film, what do you think the other takes were?
Grandpa Victor! Grandpa
You know, by take 43, I'd give up too. And because this film totally doesn't care that it wants the main theme to be daddy issues, exactly like the last film, we once again have another balcony scene between Harris and Papa Smurf, exactly the same as the first one.
I haven't done enough.
Gargamel just made her, but you made her what she is. No one asked you to, you just did. That's a pretty special kind of love.
Oh well, still hate my dad. Off to botch this movie so bad they'll reboot it in a few years. But Gargamel finally shows his true colors and tells Smurfette that if she doesn't give the secret formula to changing the Smurfs blue, he'll let Vexy and Hackus die. I'm not seeing the downside here.
I'll give it to you. Just beat
The
them.
formula first.
One hopeful thought. A dab of royal jelly.
Weapons grade plutonium?
What?
A unicorn's urine?
Oh, come on.
A Smurfs movie with glowing reviews?
Okay, now you're playing with me.
The formula works, and he puts them in an evil machine to suck the life out of them to gain their essence. Hey, this might be a happy ending after all.
There she is!
Papa? Oh, Papa. I gave Gargamel the formula.
But she saved our lives.
So that's 2 stupid things you did. I so disown you! But they all get captured, and soon Gargamel is taking all their essence away. Oh, what? No onions? I'm still not over that. What was that about? But Harris and his stepdad reunite and destroy the evil machine, resulting in, I'll give credit, a very pretty visual. Even shit can accidentally look beautiful sometimes. And the Smurfs are safe once again.
Is this what happy feels like?
No, if it's in this film, it's not what happy feels like. Yeah, don't expect to be nominated for a Screen Actors Award anytime soon. That they grew up so fast. But that's what these Smurfs movies do! They take great talent and use them at their worst. Neil Patrick Harris is super unlikable in this. None of the actors are given any funny lines. Even Hank Azaria, whose voice is pretty funny and has good timing, still can't make any of this work. It's a bad follow-up to an already bad film, and I'm happy as hell it's the last one I ever have to watch for sequel month. I'm the Nostalgia Crank, and thank God it's finally over.
You can't just do 2 sequels for sequel month.
Oh really? Let me check my rule book. That doesn't exist. Oh yeah, here it is, right under Article 1.
Okay, the people deserve more, even if it goes beyond the month.
Yeah, we're not getting it. Oh, come on, Bill, don't give me that look.
It's nothing, Benny. Nothing. Just add her to the list.
Okay, are you gonna debate me on these Cinderella movies or not?
There is no debate. The new one is better. If for no other reason than the lead actress had to lose 2 ribs to fit into that dress.
But it's so sexist and bland.
The original is sexist and bland.
You just like it because there's more flashy sparkles to play your inner 5-year-old. You're a flaky, flailing, flashy-holic.
What did you call her?
Honey, I'm gonna do the crossover. Why don't you go start a war with a random country?
Oh, I get to use my random war generator! Jamaica it is!
So, Hyper, are you ready to be proven wrong once again?
The day you start being right.
Let's do Cinderella Old versus New. Sometimes a prince leaves no impact on you whatsoever.
Dude, too soon.
I was talking about the royal position.
And I'm not.
He's the arm candy of our main character's dream. Let's take a look at Best Prince. While a lot of people give flack to some Disney princesses for not having enough character, people forget the princes often weren't even given time to have character. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and yes, Cinderella all have princes with only a handful of lines.
And where the one from Sleeping Beauty fought a dragon and the one from Snow White saved her from death, this one yawns.
Okay, look, it was a different time. A time when
yawning was an attractive trait?
I don't think you're taking into account how sexy that yawn was.
Heck, his father gets more screen time than this. So does his servant, for that matter.
Yes, but through them we're discovering the prince's character. And they're also relaying the chemistry between our two romantic leads.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
Now with the remake, not only is the prince given a lot more on-screen time, but there's also a lot more time to develop their chemistry. Cinderella and him meet before the ball, and they have time to talk like normal people and build an appreciation of each other. Even during the ball, they talk and share experiences that help them build a stronger connection. She doesn't just see him and declare, "This is love," like in the original.
I wouldn't know anybody who did that.
I've moved on, critic. I found a more sensible love.
Hey babe, it turns out it's easy to Star War with this place. You just tell them that Cool Runnings is a 100% true story.
Bring me back a Rasta hat, smoochums.
Will do.
Okay, so maybe this prince has more charm, more personality, more screen time, more chemistry, and pretty much more of a connection with everybody he comes in contact with. But there is one thing that prince does not have. A shit ton of eyeliner.
Dude, again, too soon.
Just take the point.
After you give him an apology. He's waiting.
Disney has always created the greatest villains. And what's scarier than a middle-aged woman who's obsessed with housework?
Virtually anything.
This is Best Villain. This one is rough because it really is like comparing apples to oranges.
Well, to Snow White, that's an easy choice.
The original is said by many to be one of the greatest Disney villains ever, with her style, grace, and love of all the villainous things that she does. The only downside is it's only explained in narration why she doesn't like Cinderella. Because of this, it's a little harder to identify with her motivation.
In the new film, we see how her bitterness is born. She hears her husband confess that he preferred the first wife more, which makes her angry towards his offspring all the more understandable. We also see her slowly lure Cinderella into the role as servant, showing how patient and manipulative she can be.
The downside to that is it may make her too human by comparison. Which one is more frightening? The one whose motivations are made totally clear, or the one shrouded in mystery you're supposed to have no sorrow for? The original is so slimy and hateful, there's virtually no good in her at all. While the new one is so fragile and relatable that you can see the tragedy play out in every mean-spirited move that she makes. The original acts like someone who's in control, while the remake acts like someone who wants to be in control.
I guess it's kind of like comparing Zuko with Frollo. Boy, one of them needs a breakfast cereal. One is sympathetic while the other is pure evil, both still coming off as complex and interesting. So how do we really judge which one is best?
Well, I guess whichever one scares us the most is the most intimidating.
Well, I guess that speech that the new one made in the dark is creepy in its own right. But the new one has the mind of a sociopath, which is very psychologically terrifying. But the new one has a more developed past, allowing her to... Okay, she wins! God, that look is scary.
Some people just can't handle a good old-fashioned death glare. Ah! You whore!
Remember, I can point just as hard as you.
Yeah, we seem to have unbelievable power with this, don't we?
Never forget.
Hey Hyper, by any chance are you of Indian descent?
No, why?
That's 20 metal plates in my head. The only downside is I don't know what half the words that begin with S mean. Ask me the definition of seagull.
What's the definition of seagull?
Stop making up words, honey!
You don't get it. When you hire an assassin, you use only him for life.
No, you don't understand. When you have a review already full of a ton of estrogen, hey, and the good-looking half of that estrogen is threatened, you awaken a demon that will not sleep into the night. Oh, by the way, honey, I got your hat.
Thank you so much, Wooble.
No problem, babe. Into the night.
You might be good with a gun, but you're nothing compared to my stealth.
Ha! I can see you coming a mile away. I was looking right at him. How did he do that?
Is something wrong, Possum Bear?
Nothing, Heart Eater. You and your lady friend keep talking princesses.
Stop calling me that.
I have to bury my bullets in the bloody body of a bastardized bitch!
No!
No?
This one has more bullets.
I love you, Skull Crusher!
I love you, Turtle Duck. Back to the debate.
But that all sounded amazing!
Critic.
Okay, fine. This is best side characters.
Though everyone remembers the talking mice in the original, they're very scaled down in the remake, to the point where they don't even speak.
A different tone, to say the least, but everybody loves the singing mice and their
Leave the sewing to the women.
slightly sexist lines.
Hey, Stallone knitted a sweater.
But come on, who could forget Lucifer the cat, or the horse, or the dog, the king and servants, the stepsisters? These are characters we all remember.
Yes, you remember them because there's a ton of time devoted to them. Too much time. In the remake, the supporting cast stays exactly that, supportive. In the original, they hijack the movie on several occasions. While they're cute and all, they take time away from the more important elements, like the prince and the chemistry that's supposed to build between him and Cinderella.
But hey, you were talking about how the king gets way too much time in the old one. He gets just as much time in the new one.
Yes, but it's with the prince. Every scene with him is helping develop the prince's character even more, establishing his responsibilities, his goals, and his connection with his father. We never even see the prince and his father together in the original, apart from an eye roll.
But again, it was a very passionate eye roll. I suppose the last big one to talk about is the fairy godmother. In the new one, she's played more for laughs because, well, she's Helena Bonham Carter, and that's what you do with her now.
But you have to admit, some comedy is very welcomed after Cinderella is at her lowest moment. And also, she has to prove her worth by disguising herself as a homeless lady looking for water. And it's only after Cinderella gives it to her that she grants all her wishes.
But isn't that kind of pointless? She has to know she's a kind person if she's showing up there. I mean, watching her like a godmother.
Maybe, but have you figured this? Cinderella is in shambles. She can't go to the ball, her dress is ruined, and her family hates her. Most people in that state would be too frustrated to be nice to the old woman, so by helping someone else, even in one of her worst moments, it cements what a good person she is.
I guess, but I don't know. The other one talks to her like a loving grandparent. Someone she's familiar with enough to know she would do that anyway. She has a warmth and a comfort that needs to be seen after such hardship. I wouldn't want to laugh after going through all this. I would want to feel supported. And after years of slaving for your family, suddenly being put to a test to see if you're a nice person does not seem very supportive.
Okay, maybe the fairy godmother is a little better in the original.
Did I mention she's a liar too?
And you find that really comfortable.
I got glass sneakers because of her. They hurt!
But the fact still remains that the supporting cast does more than support. They take over. They steal scenes that shouldn't have to be stolen by them. While there is still focus on Cinderella and the stepmother, other important elements are being overlooked, and the new film keeps the focus where it should be. The main characters stay the main characters, and the supporting roles stay the supporting roles.
I guess I can't really fault you on that. New gets the point.
You forgot a heartless prince joke.
Shut up. But as simple as a story is, there's always room to muck it up. Trust me, Disney's done it before. This is which one mucked it up less. The funny thing about a simple story is they can be surprisingly tough to tell. You want to connect with the characters in a relatable setup, but even in an hour and a half, you have to know what to expand on and what to keep limited.
Like said before, the first film expands too much on the side characters and not enough on some of the main ones.
But in the new film's case, the attempts to add more detail can help some scenes but seriously damage others. For example, when Cinderella is not allowed to sit at the table with the others, it's when she realizes she's truly not a part of the family, causing her to finally break down. This is a powerful scene and all, but it then ruins the moment when her dress is destroyed. Or slightly ripped. Yeah, that's a gut-wrenching moment. But even if they did it like the original, it wouldn't work because we got the breakdown earlier. Because of this, the arrival of the fairy godmother is not as powerful. In the animated one, it's by far her lowest moment because they knew to save it. Thus, you feel more emotion for her and even more relief when the fairy godmother arrives.
But the story does allow for other emotional moments that weren't in the first. The king, for example, is given a lot of time with his son, and when he passes away, it's a legitimately sad moment. The ways they allow Cinderella and the prince to meet before the ball are also very clever, giving them more time to form a connection.
The problem with that is, every single time she leaves the house, it makes for a slightly less magical night when she goes to the ball. Cinderella goes to the town and quite a few other places several times in the new one, which is fine, but in the original, everything she does is in that one location. It's a nice location, so it's not visually dull, but that's all you ever see. The story is very clever in keeping her there, as not only does it emphasize the feeling of being imprisoned, but also the freedom when she does leave and enters this heavenly dream-like castle. Therefore, we're more sucked into the experience because, like her, it's our first time seeing it.
Yeah, but all the wasted time with the side characters.
Yeah, but all the time wasted on the unneeded exposition.
But everything in the original is so obvious.
And this one isn't? Gee, I wonder what the message was again.
Have courage and be kind.
Have courage and be kind.
Have courage and be kind. Have courage and be kind.
Be kind.
And have courage.
Fine, I guess there's both good things and bad things about them.
Yeah, I guess it just depends if you're looking for more mystery or more explanation. So, what do we do in this case?
Can there be a tie?
A tie? That's for pussies who don't believe some animals more equal than others.
There's pros and cons to both. I don't think we're gonna find one that's better than the other.
Okay, I guess we can have a tie. But I'm not gonna let this choice demean my masculinity, nor anything else in the rest of this video.
You wanna play dirty? Well, time to play with Johnson Justice.
Holy mother of God.
God knows we've talked about pretty much everything you can talk about, but there is one last element to discuss. The most important element of the movie, the main character. This is the best Cinderella.
This one you know you have to give to the remake.
It's like everyone says, this Cinderella is stronger, more independent, more intelligent, and more developed than that simple songbird who does practically nothing in the first film. The audiences liked her, the critics liked her, come on. This is hands down the winner.
Well, I would agree with you if it wasn't for one solitary fact.
What's that?
You're all full of shit. What makes this Cinderella independent?
Well, she leaves the house, goes into town, and has smart conversations with the prince.
So she could leave the house at any time. Why does she stay there and take all that abuse?
Well, like she says, it's her father's home.
Because I made my mother and father a promise to cherish the place we were so happy.
Oh, is that why she ends up leaving at the end anyway? And even if it was her father's home, why go through all that hardship just for that?
Well, okay, it doesn't quite make sense, but the one in the other film could leave too.
Not really. You see, in the original, the father died when she was just a child. This gives the stepmother plenty of time to brainwash her and make her think she's supposed to feel guilty and serve her family. And seeing how she was kept in the home all that time, this indicates she doesn't know much about how the real world works. She talks to rats and birds, for crying out loud! In the new one, the father dies when she's an adult. She leaves all the time. In fact, her friends, yeah, she has friends in this one, say she should leave that place.
Why do you stay there when they treat you so? They loved our house, and now that they're gone, I love it for them.
So this makes absolutely no sense. By attempting to make her, quote, smarter and independent, they actually opened up a ton of plot holes, making her look dumber and weaker.
Okay, so she's not the brightest wand in Hogwarts, but you have to admit, she's stronger. She's not as passive as the animated one.
Really? In the original, she felt stuck in her position, but she clearly didn't like it. She did get angry. She did have her breaking points. Even though she was taught over the years to be a certain way, she was still human and relatable. This This one, aside from her one big breakdown, which they try to do twice, she just kind of smiles and looks happy like a zombie most of the time. In fact, in the animated one, when it comes to being locked in the attic and held against her will, she does try to get out. She hits the door, she screams, she asks her animal friends for help. She does everything she can to get out of there. In the new one, she fully accepts her doom and just spins around in circles, humming to herself. Yeah, this is the strong, independent role model the critics were talking about. She actually escapes by mistake when the animals open up the window and they hear her voice. That's not strong, that's the definition of giving up while also being saved by luck.
But, she's so charming.
No, she's not allowed to be because they're focusing more on her being smart and independent. People miss what makes a strong character is how they deal with their flaws, their fears, their turmoils, their troubles that get in the way. That's what makes them relatable. But this Cinderella doesn't have any flaws. At least, none that they'll acknowledge. You could argue she's too passive, but what does she do to solve that? Let someone else save the day and not even try. This Cinderella at least gave a shit, because while having a character be strong is good, it's more important to have them interesting first. This character is not interesting. I'm not gonna act like the original is the best written character, but you felt her pain, you understood her anger, and you cheered for her when things went right because she allowed you to see her most fragile moments.
But her dress! It looks so amazing!
And that's why you're falling for it. It looks the part and sounds the part, but it's not portraying the part. It's like the two Charlies from the Willy Wonka movies. One is an emotional yet dreamful kid, and the other is Jesus. We're obviously going to relate to the one that acts more like a real kid because we all were real kids. We can relate to that. It's the same thing here. It doesn't matter what you claim she is or isn't. If you don't connect with her, there's no emotion. And this movie has made it impossible to connect with her because they tried to make her flawless, ironically creating unintentional flaws with her that are never acknowledged or resolved.
But her dress!
Point goes to the old.
Oh, it's so sparkly!
So, with everything wrapped up, let's see who the winner is. Another tie? What the hell, man? We can't end like this!
Yeah, we need to find the best Cinderella movie!
Aha! Didn't expect old Johnson Justice, did ya? Now open your mouth. I'm gonna give you the finishing blow.
Honey Raisin, can you help us settle a dispute?
Oh, this still your little book club going on?
I swear to God.
We're trying to decide what's the better Cinderella film, the original or the remake.
Really? You're asking me this right now?
Answer the question. Cartoon or remake?
Yeah! The cartoon or the remake?
Ever After.
The Drew Barrymore movie?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's cool, it's smart, it's got sword fighting, Morticia Addams as the stepmother. Hell, even Cinderella does a little fighting. Yeah, there's no magic, but I hate that shit. I got Johnson Justice. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna finish what I start. Damn it, how does he keep doing that?
Benny, what's your favorite Cinderella movie?
Oh, Ever After.
What?
The writing is clever, the characters are interesting, the villain is fun, and there's just enough changes to keep it fresh but still stay true to the heart of the story.
Actually, the more I think about it,